I apologize. I don't normally stare at strangers.
Well, I should be the one to apologize. I stared first.
Did you know my mother?
No, not really. I knew she was a remarkable lady. A friend of mine had told me a lot about her and you.
And you just decided to come to the funeral?
I know it must seem odd.
Not quite sure. Do I know this friend?
Edmund Gray.
Edmund? Then you're not from the West Coast?
No.
I'm still confused. Did Edmund tell you to come?
I work with Edmund.
Well, that still doesn't answer my question.
I know this must... I mean, I don't want to burst in today on you.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I just buried my mother. And it hasn't exactly put me in the frame of mind to play guessing games. So for the last time, if Edmund didn't send you, then why are you here?
Because back in Pine Valley before all this, before you made your life here, I knew you. Dad, I should have stayed on the bridge with you.
What? I'm sorry. Hey, Dixie, it's Jack. Look at me, will you, please? Look, I want to help you, but you have to tell me what you need, okay?
Jack, did I do something wrong? Judge mad at me?
No, of course not.
Adam knows.
No. Adam doesn't know a thing.
He will.
Dixie, there's nothing for Adam to know. I mean, everything's just fine.
See, Dixie, that's... We both say the same thing.
He's there. On the bridge.
Who's there, huh?
Dad. I went there to be with him.
Look, honey, you're home. Now, I'm here, Gloria's here, Brian's here. And we all want to help you. You're safe here. Nothing's going to happen to you here. It's just all the pressure that you've been under. Now, if you would just talk to us, I guarantee you that you would feel better.
It's gone. Nothing matters.
What can we do?
You have got to keep her together. Do you hear me?
I don't know if
you
I can.
have to, Brian. She needs you right now. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to call Ruth and I want you to call Brooke.
Why? What good will
Maybe
that...
they can get through to her. I'll call Dr. Tola because let me tell you something. This girl needs professional help, and I mean she needs it right now.
Have a seat.
This is a beautiful room.
Thank you. It was my mother's favorite.
I can see why.
You're nervous.
A little. Why, does it show?
Well, you just had the same look outside. Almost as if you'd seen a ghost.
I have, in a way.
Oh, I thought I heard you come in.
I'm fine, Rosalie. Excuse me, allow me to... I'm sorry, I didn't even catch your name.
It's Brooke. Brooke English?
Brooke English. Yes.
Oh, I am Rosalia Sanchez. It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss English.
Rosalie, would you do me a favor? Would you bring us some...
Hot coffee and pastries.
Don't do that.
Of course.
I'm afraid one of her favorite domestic hobbies is reading my mind.
Did you recognize my name?
It's familiar.
From before?
I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I might have heard it while I was in Pine Valley. I'm sorry if that disappoints you.
I don't know what I expect, really.
Welcome to my life.
Stuff comes back to him in fragments. Distorted images like dreams, only he's not asleep. Headaches. Bad headaches.
Are you okay?
Fine. Nothing that a couple of aspirin wouldn't fix.
Listen, I don't want to upset you any more than you already are.
You know, there was a time when I would have given anything to talk to someone like you. Someone with all the answers. Now I'm not so sure. Seems to me that my future is a big price to pay for my past. Still, you cared enough to come all this way, and my mother has always said that fear is never a very good reason to hide from the truth. So by all means, Miss English, why don't you tell me who I am?
I don't know quite how to start.
Start at the beginning. How was I raised? Was there a family? How long did I spend in Pine Valley?
You lived there from the time that you were a little boy. You were abandoned.
In a park.
Yes, yes, in a state park.
It's one of the only things that I do remember. Being abandoned by someone in a park with an injured leg. So apparently, my kidnappers, whoever they were, made it all the way across country before they gave up and dumped me.
You were found by a man named Jeff Martin, and later his family adopted you.
The Martins.
Your father's name is Joe, and your mother is Ruth.
Joseph Martin. Martin Joseph.
I'm surprised that you didn't meet them in the hospital. Your father is chief of staff, and your mother is the head nurse there.
No, I heard them being paged. I'm afraid I never made the connection.
Well, they were a wonderful family. They loved you very much.
You know, I used the name Martin when I showed up at this vineyard. Martin Joseph. My mother was convinced that the reason I did so was because I remembered on some level that my father's name was Joseph Orsini.
You and Joe, you made a wonderful team through the years.
Were there brothers? Sisters?
Yes, there were 4 children altogether. There was your older brother, Jeff. He's a doctor. There was an older sister, Tara. She lives in Japan with her husband. There was a younger brother, Joey. He's studying to be
A doctor. Am I an MD by any chance?
No. You had a terrific home. You had a grandmother, Kate. She was Joe's mother. And she was your biggest fan. She used to say that you had a smile that melted her heart. You could get away with murder with her.
Sorry, I don't have any faces to put with these names.
Kate passed away a few years ago, but she's still very much a part of the Martin family.
She knew. She said I would be okay just before she... I'm sorry. My mother, Nola. She must have met these people. So, please, go on. Tell me, what happened to me after I fell into this Norman Rockwell painting?
You grew up. I mean, you know, you had your share of troubles. They were never anything serious, but you kept the Martins on your toes.
You're a bit of a diplomat, Miss English.
Well, underneath all that wheeling and dealing, you were a charming, lovable kid. And everybody adored you.
I never changed.
What do you mean?
Nola always said I was like that from the time I was a very small child. Apparently I could talk myself out of all sorts of trouble. You know, for the longest time, I've been scared to death of the truth. You have no idea how good this feels. You see, my mother always knew that I was an Orsini, and I wanted to believe her. I did, but for the longest time, there have been so many questions.
I haven't meant to add to your confusion.
Oh, no, you haven't. Far from it. You put things together for me. I should thank you. You see, I responded to Pine Valley the way I did because I was I was dumped there as a child, and I was lucky enough to run into the Martins, but I'm sure that deep down I knew that sometime I would have to come home, here to California. And now I'm positive. My mother was right. I am her son. I am Ted Orsini. You have no idea how ironic this is. Finding out about this on today of all days. You know, my mother would have loved this. She really would have. Is there something wrong?
I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Orsini would do fine. Thank you very much. What is it? Is there something else?
There are a lot of years to fill in. Maybe you should sit down.
The most dreaded sentence in the English language. You know, Miss English, I can't force you to tell the truth, but under the circumstances, I would appreciate it.
I don't know how to put this.
Put it any way you want to.
You're not that little boy from California. I'm sorry. Nola Orsini isn't your mother.
How can you be so sure?
Ted Orsini was abducted about the same time that you were left in that park. But it wasn't a kidnapper who left you there. It was your biological father, Ray Gardner.
What are you saying? That my own father abandoned me?
I'm sorry. Ray was no good. He never loved you, and he never loved your mother.
My mother? Let's assume what you're saying is true. Where was she when this person was dumping me out like yesterday's trash?
Ray was very cruel. He was an abusive man, and your mother was totally under his control. She was afraid of him. A lot of people were.
Does she have a name?
Opal. Ray lied to her. He told her that you'd run away. But when she found out the truth, eventually, she went to Pine Valley to find you.
She didn't do a very good job. I'm sure I spent more time looking for my wallet.
Opal tried to be the best mother that she possibly could. I mean, she had a lot of hard knocks, but she fought back because of you.
Where is she now?
She's in Pine Valley. She's happily remarried. She has a new life.
You are friends.
Yes. And she loves you. And it wasn't her fault that you were taken away from her. And she fought like hell to get you back.
So, how did I go from being the Prince of Pine Valley to Martin Joseph, immigrant farm worker, heir to the Orsini vineyard? Oh, come on, Miss English. I'm sure the last chapter is a real killer.
There was another man. A man who hated you. This was about 2 years ago. It was in the fall of 1990. His name was Billy Clyde Tuggle. You were with him on a bridge, the Lockport Bridge. You had a fight. There was an explosion, and both of you fell into the river. And we all thought that you had died.
My name is Tad.